SealPath allows the protection of intellectual property and sensitive content in AutoCAD files, so that it can control who accesses them and with what permissions, as well as being able to monitor access to the file. The operation is similar to the protection of an Office-type file. Through the SealPath desktop, it is possible to define a protection policy indicating which users have access to the file and the permissions. It is also possible to apply expiration dates or the possibility of offline access, for example. To protect the file, it is simply necessary to drag it to the corresponding policy in SealPath desktop, or with a right-click over the file, selecting the protection policy. Once protected, the file has an additional extension, SLPTH, that indicates that it is protected by SealPath. We will also see a SealPath icon on the file indicating that it is protected. To open the protected file, just double-click on it. SealPath Security Sandbox technology is used to control access and permissions to the protected file. When the file is opened, the user can see the permissions on the file through the SealPath permission bar. In the case of the user who has protected the file and has full control, it is possible to check that they have the permissions: view, edit, copy and paste, and print and add users. Once the design is open in AutoCAD, one can work as if it were just another unprotected file. It was possible to modify the file and save it. It is also possible to export it to another file format, and by having total control over the document, the export will not be limited to the user. In the event that a user with fewer permissions opens the file, he will see those assigned to him in the permissions bar. For example, view and edit, but not print or copy and paste. The user can add content to the file, modify it, and draw in the same way as working with an unprotected file. However, if the user tries to print the file, SealPath will warn the user does not have the necessary permissions. The user can, for example, print to PDF and will not be blocked, but the resulting PDF file will in fact be empty and thus useless. Similarly, if the user tries to export the content to another format, for example from DWG to DWF, SealPath will block it and the generated file will have 0 bytes. If the file reaches a user without permissions and he tries to open it, he will receive the message that he does not have necessary permissions to open it at all. SealPath not only allows one to work with individual AutoCAD designs, but also with complex designs that contain references to other files. When a protected file containing references is opened through the SealPath Security Sandbox, the main file permissions apply to all references regardless of whether they are protected or not. In this way, when the file is opened, the references will be loaded correctly and the user will be able to work on it with the assigned permissions. This screen shows the supported AutoCAD suites and the formats that can be protected through SealPath Security Sandbox. Regarding access monitoring and auditing, SealPath handles AutoCAD files the same way as any other file type. Through the SealPath desktop, it is possible to see what protection policy was applied to the file, the permissions of the current user who has opened it, and any alerts. For example, one can find out if someone has tried to access the file and has been blocked for not having the proper permissions. It is also possible to change permissions, add or revoke access to the protected files at any time, for example, by simply eliminating the user, group of users, or domain from the policy which was used to protect the file. An individual file can also be blocked so that no user, except those with total control, can access it.